everyone, this is FaZe and welcome to my channel. Today, Apple just now wrapped up the keynote for the Worldwide Developers Conference, and it was absolutely amazing. Apple didn't just introduce new updates to iOS, iPadOS, and their other platforms, but they also introduced a ton of new AI stuff, which they're dubbing as Apple Intelligence. It's a very Apple-like thing to do. But anyways, in today's video, we're gonna do a quick recap of everything Apple announced. So without any further ado, let's begin. So first, I wanna talk about iOS 18. The all-new iOS update includes new home screen customization, which includes the ability to place app icons anywhere, and you get a new theming option for personalizing app icons with the color of your choice. And now when you're on dark mode, you can even automatically tint the icons. There is now a revamped control center with a multi-page layout. There's also a new controls gallery, which also allows third-party developers to offer widgets for a control center. You can now swap the new controls onto the lock screen, replacing, finally, the flashlight and the camera icons. Now you can even lock individual apps behind Face ID. Now in the Messages app, tapbacks have been redesigned and you can now tap back with any emoji or sticker. And Messages now supports scheduled send. There's also support for text effects and text formatting options like underline, strike through, and more. Also, you have Messages via satellite, which now allows iPhone 14 and 15 users to send iMessages without Wi-Fi or cell service. And this goes for SMS as well. And the Mail app has automatic categorization handled completely on device. You also get a completely redesigned Photos app with an all-new grid view and features such as collections with the ability to browse by topics like time, people, memories, trips, and more. Now let's talk about iPadOS 18. You will receive all the new home screen customization features that iOS 18 is receiving along with the new control center. However, with iPadOS, the focus is more on the overall app experience. For an example, you get a new tab bar that you'll find at the top of different apps for offering navigation controls. This tab bar can morph into a sidebar menu when you need more options, and you can customize it the way you want to. Also, Apple finally did it. The Calculator app is coming to the iPad. As you would expect, it looks a lot like the iPhone one, but it takes advantage of the iPad's larger display to offer more buttons and controls on screen at once. It also supports dynamic resizing when multitasking on the iPad as well. However, with the Calculator, you get Math Notes, which is the highlight feature of this app. And it's a way to more naturally write out and perform calculations in both the Calculator app and the Notes app. Also, when using the Notes app, the Apple Pencil now includes more power for handwriting with the Smart Script feature. Now, if you're not a big fan of the way your handwriting naturally looks, like me for an example, you can customize it for a more beautiful design with Smart Script. So Apple will automatically enhance your handwriting to look exactly the way you want it to. You can even paste copied text into notes in the style of your chosen handwriting. Now let's take a second and talk about AI, which was a huge part of this entire keynote. In fact, I would say a lot of the biggest new features are all AI related. With Apple Intelligence, you get personalized prioritization of notifications on the iPhone, generative writing tools across apps, image generation, and more. Apple says that its generative AI stands apart as it's personalized to your individual context while maintaining privacy. For instance, when reading an email, Apple Intelligence can look at an email, find out related contacts, and give directions and find relevant files. Image generation allows you to create cartoon images that resemble contacts in your address book and send them to friends through Messages. Also, Apple has unveiled a new image playground feature that allows you to create generative images on the fly using a range of concepts like themes, costumes, accessories, places, and more. Apple Intelligence is powered largely by on-device models compatible with the A17 Pro chip on the iPhone 15 Pro and M1 in later Apple Silicon Macs. Apple is launching server infrastructure that will run more sophisticated models called Private Cloud Computer, and Apple says that this will allow for more generative AI models to process your data without giving up any privacy. Now, with Apple Intelligence, Apple also unveiled a new version of Siri that it promises is more natural and helpful. This new Siri is powered by Apple Intelligence generative AI models. And this new Siri has a beautiful new UI, which features a glow around the device bezel. Responses appear in new, richly detailed cards, and Apple said that this new Siri will roll out gradually over the next year. Apple also says that the new Siri will understand context, so you don't have to repeat information in requests. Apple says Siri will be able to find and understand things that it never could before. It will have an on-screen awareness about what you are currently looking at and have the ability to take in-app actions. For instance, if you're filling in a form asking for your driving license number, Siri will automatically be able to find a picture of your driving license and extract the relevant number to fill in the field on your behalf. Apple Intelligence also allows you to rewrite or proofread text automatically as well. So for example, a new feature called Rewrite allows you to change the tone or proofread inline text in Mail and other apps. Apple Intelligence will automatically summarize notifications as well. A new focus mode called Reduce Interruptions can automatically look at notifications and messages to see if they're important enough to interrupt you. Also, there are a ton of other AI stuff that Apple announced, so I will highlight all of that in my next video. Now let's talk about visionOS 2, which now includes changes to the gestural system to make quick actions easier to access. The Photos app can automatically synthesize spatial photos from your 2D photo library. Travel mode will also now work on trains, and the new generation of the Mac virtual display supports larger, higher resolution virtual screens with support for an expansive ultra-wide display option. The Mac performs foveated rendering to reduce perceived compression artifacts, and also the Apple Vision Pro can finally pair with the mouse for the very first time. And Apple announced that the Vision Pro will go on sale in 8 additional countries starting from later this month. All right, guys, so this basically wraps up my recap on going over the highlights of all the new platforms that Apple has updated for this year. And once again, AI took the entire spotlight, and I'm super excited to get my hands on iOS 18 and iPadOS 18 and start using these features. Now keep in mind, this is going to be beta, but once again, the moment I get my hands on it, I'll do a video going over iPadOS 18 and iOS 18. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you next time.